So,
So,
how did
welcome to this episode of Live to Tell. We're so excited that you're here, and we think we know what we're going to talk about. Oh, I already hit the button. I already hit
you
it.
really did
Yeah.
without asking me? Okay, then it's your thing to do today to take care about the time. All right, I love it.
No problem. So, yeah, we've been talking just here amongst ourselves a little bit about AI, and so we just thought that would be kind of a fun thing to talk about because I'm interested in Christoph's views and I have some new thoughts because I've been using a flavor of AI and yeah, yeah. I've been using Claude a little bit.
Yeah. So, hello everybody, and you know what? I'm I'm transforming into a range monster when I'm thinking of AI because every time nowadays I'm calling some hotline. It's all the time AI voices. It's
Oh yeah.
computers and they're asking me things or I want to know things they can't answer. And they it's not like, okay, I don't know the answer. I will connect you to someone, to a human. It's
Mhm.
like, I don't know that. Please ask another question. It's like that. And what the fuck? I want to be this question to be answered, and I don't want to ask another question. It is completely makes no sense. It's stupid. Like, okay, I don't know that. Please ask another question.
Please ask another question.
Really? That was the answer. That was the advice of the yeah,
AI.
AI, and we know what AI means, right? Artificial intelligence.
Right.
And this is not gonna working. It's not gonna work. So this is what I always thinking of, and it makes me crazy and really aggressive. Like, okay, let's try it a different way. And yeah, the only thing I'm like saying again and again into the phone is like agent, agent,
Yes. Connect me to a person. Yeah.
person, agent. Yeah. So, but I have some, of course, some other ideas, but this is the first thing that popped into my head thinking of AI. Yeah.
That is interesting because I mean, that happens to me too. I just never really think about that as AI. I think of that as automation, which I mean, some level of automation of these calls has been around for years, right? And maybe it's getting better, maybe from when it started, but still, I'm in the same boat as you. I usually have a question that can't be answered by whatever the automation is. It's like, I just want a person and just give me that option and let me talk to a human that has more capabilities there. So I think it's funny though that you said rage because it's like phone rage instead of road rage, right?
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Oh,
And I mean, yeah, when I'm thinking of AI as well, because you said like you're working with Claude, I did a lot of with Chat GPT. Of course, I guess that they were the first, right?
yeah, I think so. Yeah. At least the first popular. Yeah.
Yeah, and I remembered like I was in a store and I remember it. I was in a store and there were some, how do you say that, student workers, like
Yeah, like
when
an intern maybe.
yeah, an intern, and there were Indian students. They
Mhm.
were they studying like IT or how do you call that? Like
Yeah,
yeah,
IT.
yeah, and this guy was talking to me and super nice, and then suddenly someone came from behind and he talked to his colleague like I don't know his name to be honest, like let's say Rashid, like Rashid. Now you're able to correcting HTML codes by a machine. And he was like, what? And he, he was so nice to me, but he was so irritated. Like, what did you say? And then like, they have a discussion, but without being like impolite with me, they were so amazed. Like, it finds the errors in the programming typing, and I was like, okay, guys, I have no idea what you're talking about at this point. So this was the first thing, or the first time I heard about ChatGPT, and that it was it was an amazing thing, because normally you had to check all the lines when you are programming something, and now nowadays it's programming itself, but you could like find the errors you made. Like, hey, this is not correct. This is not correct. It showed you, yeah, and they were so amazed. It was very
Wow.
funny, and I
And
was
what kind
not.
of a place was this? I missed it. I thought you were at a what kind of store was this? Where were you?
I have no idea. Like a normal, like a grocery store, or
Really? Oh
yeah, a
my.
bakery, something like this. Like a bakery in a grocery store. Sometimes they have these parts.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was just students working there, helping like an intern, and yeah, and they were so amazed by these. Yeah, how
Wow.
this
Okay.
have working now. Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
yeah, and I didn't get it at that time, but
Oh
yeah,
no.
now I can imagine, like, yeah, what the meaning was for them. Like, okay, this is changing the programming work uh,
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah. Kind of like how when spell check came out, like, wow, now I don't have to check all my own spelling.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Which I can
exactly.
relate to that a little bit more than, code,
Yeah.
writing code. So that's pretty cool. Yeah. So can I talk a little about Claude? I want to tell you about
Sure.
Claude.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So I've been working with Claude and really liking Claude. And really, I've been using Claude to help me set up things on our YouTube channel, right? And then, so the other day, after, Claude and I have gone through and done all these different things together, it's been really great. I see at the bottom of the Claude page on my browser that it's something about the different levels of Claude. And so, of course, there's levels that are paid and levels that are free, and I'm using free. And it was like level one, level two, and they have all these different, and then the numbers and names of levels. And I I am aware that Claude is only working within what I'm giving him. Okay. Um, I'm aware that he's not, thinking way outside the box. It's fine. Um, but I am also aware that I can expand that box and ask, hey, what do you think about this? And what do you think about this? And ask the questions. And I take it upon myself to do that. Um, but I don't think I want to engage with artificial intelligence at this point that is that's more like that's more like a human, like bringing all the other facets to the table. I don't want to rely on it. I want I want to sort of bounce something specific off of it, get some ideas, transform them, give that back, and still have this, but like I'm more in control. And at this point, I feel more comfortable with that, even though it's a lower level of the AI. So that's what I really realized.
Yeah, and I love, for example, to summarize a huge text, like, hey, give me the information. What is the
The
message
summary.
here, for
Yes,
example, a
yes. What are the
summary?
general themes? Yeah.
Yeah, or for example, I guess it's one of our team members. I asked her, like, what are you using AI for? And she said, like, yeah, I have some super boring stuff, like, how do you say that? When you have to write a protocol.
Oh, yeah.
And this is great, just record it and then say like, hey, give me a protocol, and it's written in seconds. This
Yeah.
is this is fine, I guess, what AI should be. But when we speak about like creating stuff, you said like, yeah, you can expand the box, but whatever expansion you make, however big it is still a box. Because AI learns from what you put in.
Right.
That's it. And the information you will always get the information that is in the internet or what is given free to
Right.
Claude or GPT or whoever, whatever AI it is. So you will never get new ideas, as you said, like never get something out of the box. You get perhaps a new combination of what's already there. But
Right.
in my opinion, and yeah, let's go deep here again. In my opinion, it's like this. For when we talk about, for example, when we talk about the truth, like the truth,
Hmm.
there is no truth. Whatever you are asking, the answer is always different because it's related to the situation you are in. I guess we talked about this already. Like, yeah, if you ask me, like, is it right to kill someone? I would
Oh,
say,
right.
if you ask me now, I would say no. But if someone, I don't know, is attacking me with a weapon and my wife and my children, and then I'm shooting him, for example,
Right.
then
Self-defense.
I would say like, yeah, it is correct. It was correct to that I did that.
Right.
So, and this is I mean, this is very black and white, but this is the truth. And in my opinion, and if we talk about like new ideas and the truth, it is always like this. You have a situation, and the only thing you can receive the real truth is your heart. Like your heart knows what is right in this situation for you,
Right.
for
For
me,
you, exactly. For you. Hmm.
for me. For another person, it might be different.
Yep.
So, but this is, in my opinion, the way, and the information is coming from who,
Wherever.
wherever to the heart, which knows this is right and this is not right. And then it's sending it to the, let's call it brain,
Right.
and it's translating and transforming it to words.
Hmm.
And to be honest, here is, you know, part of the truth is left behind. It's because there is
Yes, there's a loss in the translation.
yeah, in the translation, as always, when you put like two things together, there's always a loss. If you put another thing and another, there is always a loss. So
Mhm.
here's a loss
Mhm.
as well. By the way, as well, from here to your mouth, it's a loss as well. And we see that every episode when I'm speaking English.
All around us and in ourselves. Absolutely. No,
Exactly. So which is the proof that
no.
but yeah, this is it. And in my opinion, this is the only intelligence that there is. And this is outside ourselves. And for example, when you say, oh wow, this person is super intelligent, no, he's or she's not. It's the person who is receiving intelligence and then is the one to translate it and whatever, or asking the right questions to get intelligence. So for me, just one last sentence, the AI is in itself wrong because intelligence could never or can never be artificial. You know what I
Mm.
mean?
Oh, I love that. Yeah. Yeah.
It's a contra
Yeah.
thing in itself.
Yeah.
It's not,
Right.
you
It
know,
doesn't make sense. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
artificial and intelligent. That it's it's a good calculator. It's a good computer. It's a great help sometimes. It's I love AI, by the way, in some parts, but it's everything but not intelligence. Never ever. Because the only intelligence that is, it's outside ourselves, receiving with the heart, translated in the brain, and then whatever you do it, you can
Yeah.
paint whatever
Yeah.
you've got, you can create something, or you can say something, you can write something. Yeah, but don't don't tell me intelligence is artificial. I'm sorry, I'm out then.
I love that. So there's a couple things for me that come into this. One is if I stick with, your idea that well, all intelligence is outside of us, then the humans who appear more intelligent, right? To me, would have to be the ones that are more receptive and open to a certain kind of intelligence, because there's all different kinds. There's all different kinds. And there's all different fields in which you can excel and appear to be a genius and whatever. So, whatever that is, whatever your field is that you're open to, that's where your genius is, maybe. Um, so I love that. But for me, it's really about being open. And the other thing though for me is I'm not sure I agree 100% that all intelligence is outside of us, because I feel like there's something, I mean, it's not the body at all, and it's nothing physical, right? But we are something besides the body, because clearly the body's left behind when somebody dies, but they don't even look like themselves, really. They look very different. We'll just call it the spirit to keep it very, just simple. But there's something about the spirit that is um, of the same nature as what you're talking about outside of us to me. They're not entirely different. Um, they're not exactly the same, because I mean, there's like maybe I mean, there's lots of like size is different, like the all that is versus like the what's inside of me. But there's something fundamental that's the same, and in its purest form, whatever that is inside of a person, I feel like there's some seed of intelligence there. And it's almost like that seed has to resonate with something from outside for it to really come out, whether, and for something to that person to create something, or do something where somebody thinks it's intelligent, or their genius to come out. So that's but I think a lot of us, I will say a lot of us instead of a lot of people, because I feel it for sure, are so conditioned and so molded, for maybe people don't know the word conditioned, but so molded by society and the things that our parents told us because they believed it when we were growing up. We're so conditioned that a lot of times it takes a long time and maybe even a lifetime to take off some of those shells so that that seed can really express itself in the world, um, how it was always meant to.
Yeah, when you speak about like being receptive, I love the idea. And I'm a huge fan of the idea that every truth is told us in movies, you know. In every movie there is some truth they show us, they tell us. And when I'm thinking about like receiving and connecting, I always think about the movie Avatar. You
Oh,
remember? And
Avatar.
they connect their self, which with flowers, with animals, with, and I think it's like this. Because, for example, I will tell a personal story. I was working on a, how do you call that? On a not method, on a, what did we do when we talked about the key of relationship? The mechanic or the
Like the
visual
process, the
visualization
graphic, the visual.
graphic. Yeah, let's say about, we talked about a graphic, and you know, I was like, I connected to that graphic for some time, and then I connected to it again with UT, yeah, as you know, with T, and then we got somewhere else. We went somewhere else. So, and in my opinion, it's that the only reason was okay. We created a connection with this graphic, with this idea, and so we were connected to the intelligence or to the a knowledge base, whatever it is.
Mhm.
So, and this is what I think what's happening, that we can decide to what we want to be connected. So, for example, we talked about him again as well before about Einstein.
Right.
And in my opinion, he found out a lot of stuff because he connected to it. He was stuck to it.
Yeah.
And yeah, we always say that, oh, Einstein was a very intelligent man. I I don't want to doubt it, but hey, come on. If I play piano 8 hours every day for 1 year, I think 99% will say like, wow, Christoph, you're a very good musician. You know, yeah, I am perhaps then, but it's because I was connected to it. I lived it. I stick to it. And yeah, I think we have some talents and geniuses, as you said.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if you're finding your genius and connecting to it
Yeah.
and want to know more about it,
Yes.
you know?
Yes. Absolutely.
So, but to go back to Avatar, they were able to connect to everything they like to. And this is what I'm pretty sure about when we speak or discuss about something. We are intelligent, very intelligent as well,
Mhm.
because we're receiving, we are receiving things. And the question is, yeah, to what do we want to connect it to? So this is my opinion. Like, yeah, choose whatever you want to be better at or you want to know more about. So yeah.
Yeah. I love that. I love that analogy with Avatar. I think that that is very different from how we operate in the world today in a lot of ways. But one way is even if someone does connect with something, just or opens and knows something, um, because they opened and they just had an insight. Um, I think today in the world today, there's a lot of questioning of that, like, oh, well, how do you know? You didn't study that. You don't have a degree. How do you know? And I think that is very unhelpful. And um, this is not exactly the same thing, but I'm going to use this example anyway because it really bothered me. Um, you, people are people can argue and use these arguments just to prove their own point, and it sounds good, but it's not right. Like, I'm a huge Michael Jackson fan. And so I saw the movie, the newish movie, Michael, that came out, and there were a lot of people from Michael Jackson's family who had a lot to do with the making of that movie. But his daughter, Paris, was not one of them. And she was very vocal. She said, I saw they gave me the screenplay a year ago or 2 years ago or whatever, and they wanted my feedback, and I gave them all my feedback, and they completely disregarded all my feedback. So if you're not going to take my opinion into account, then I don't want to be associated with it. It doesn't mean that I don't love my dad, but it means that I had some ideas and that my ideas were not incorporated, and there were some things in that movie that I did not agree with. And I I love Michael. I loved the movie, and I also loved what she said. And I watched a lot of her videos that where she talked about it, and I read some of the comments, and really, one of the comments that came through a lot was, well, how does she know anything? She wasn't even alive during the time period that they were showing. It's like just using that to completely discount everything that she said. She was his daughter. She spent a lot of time with him. She continues to spend a lot of time with the entire family. Like, excuse me, but she had some insight there. And to say, well, she wasn't alive during any of that time, just to rub off her opinion, um, was I mean, I felt like it was not right. Maybe it was actually that person's truth, but there's so much about completely discounting people and not a lot of listening to people and not a lot of like checking in. Does that feel right? Well, no, it doesn't feel right to me, but it doesn't mean it's not right at all. And I don't know. I just I might have gotten off on a tangent. I think I might need you to bring me back.
No, 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 no. This is like I love that idea because what you say, like to just put it in one sentence is like, I know it is not enough, right? It's just knowing something is for most of the people, it's not enough. But when you know, right? It's like, yeah, I know it, I feel it, I know it.
Right.
And this is enough. And I love what you said. And I love this sentence. This is going into my, I don't know, my book that is not existing, but in my I don't know, my wording sounds good, but it's not right. But people make concepts and they are so good, and wow, yeah, yeah, makes sense. Yeah, but yeah, it's not right. Doesn't it's not correct. It's not true.
Right. And like
And
the circling it back to artificial intelligence. I mean, when I was working with Claude, there were a few things that it was logical what he did and what he would give back to me. And I was like, "Hmm, no, I'm really not feeling that. I'm not doing it this way. I like this or this." And then I would say, how about you give me the pros and cons on both of these?
yeah,
Just so that I had a more expanded set of factors to consider.
yeah,
Um, but I think it gets dangerous when we just put all of our chips on whatever artificial
yeah,
intelligence says. Like that's very dangerous.
yeah. And yeah, what you talked about, what you said about Claude is exactly sounds good, but it's not right. It's not right. And to be honest, this is always the same um, when people are discussing about things, and then if people have no like arguments anymore, they say like, yeah, what does science uh, is saying to this?
Hmm.
And somehow, for some reason, science, I have no idea how that happened, but it seems that they say like it's more intelligence than the heart of a person. And for me, it's completely nonsense. And everybody knows science is trial and error. And they are still looking for things. I mean, how many times does the view of the material world change? I mean, at first they say like, yeah, it's all material stuff. There are different consistencies. It's fluid. It is hard, and it's how do you say it when it's
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Different
gas?
states. Right, right.
Yeah,
Different states.
and it's gas. This is it. And then it's like, no, no, there are atoms, and around
There's
these atoms.
plasma. Plasma is different.
So, and 10 years later is no, there is no material because it's all energy. So it showed me like, yeah, this is science, right? It's trial and error, which is fine. And it's fine. I'm fine with science, but don't tell me that this is like the thing and the argument that is the only thing here.
Yeah.
And for example, I remember a very, very interesting experiment. People were connected to uh, like an electric that measures your brain activity,
Hmm.
and they know the different areas. For example, when you feel angry, there's an area when you feel love, when you feel whatever. So the different emotions.
Yes. Yes.
So, and they connected the brain, yeah, with the machine, and they showed people, yeah, different like uh,
Clips. Yeah, movie clips.
movie clips, which created like different emotions.
Mhm.
So, for example, people are kissing and hugging, and then someone is killed, and all the range of emotions. And of course, the brain reacted on that, responded to that. And the interesting part of it was like um, the response came up to half a second from the brain before the clip was showed was shown.
Yeah. Really?
Really? So, because the experiment was about what does the heart know and what does the brain, so-called brain, know?
Yeah.
All right. So, and the conclusion was like, we have no idea how, but you know, the humans know things before they happen.
Even
So
if it's half a second, that's
yeah,
before.
yeah. So like you were prepared what's happening even before you know, because there is something different going on. So, and that like shows me like intelligence is not about yeah, science, and because they have no idea how people receive that information, and if
Right,
there's
right, right. There's something else. There's something else.
something else, or it's a measure error. No, so an error in the measurement because it's a half a second before. So I mean, so what I wanted to say is like, don't tell me there is like the science and that's it. You know,
No,
it
no. I mean, especially human, like what we know about so-called science. Like science is not something separate from everything else. It's sort of like a method. Like you said, I mean, it's
Exactly.
trial and error, but I wouldn't describe it as trial and error as much as evolving. It's definitely always evolving. And like we used to treat people like medicine. In medicine, the science was to put a leech on somebody and like bleed them out because that was the greatest thing. Like, okay, given all the information they knew, that was the best they could do.
Exactly.
And then they learned
Exactly.
some more, and then they learned some more. And so it is like over time, it really is trial and error. But there's always conditions that are being imposed that we're not aware of yet because we are not all knowing. So for sure, for sure. And I mean, I worked in enough laboratories to know that there are a lot of variables that you can't control.
Yeah.
You can't control everything. So,
And I mean, great example of speaking, you can't control everything is when it comes to, how do you say that, to judges? No, law, then it comes to the laws.
mhm.
You know, if it would be that simple, there would be like six laws,
Right,
and
right,
that's
right.
it, right?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
don't do that. This is forbidden. You are allowed to do that. There is a million things you need to know. And even then, it's going to different steps, right? If it's just the city law
Right.
and the judges there, they're like, yeah, we are not sure. Let's give it another level. And
Yeah,
then
we'll
other
send it up
people need
the
to decide, yeah, it's not that simple. And
Mhm.
there are coming laws again, and more laws and more laws and more laws and changing. And okay, no, this is not happening. You know, these the trying to control what's going on. It is so sad to see that when I'm looking at the laws, right? And it's not possible to control it. It is not possible because it's changing all the time. Every situation is different, and you try to find a solution with taxes and percentage, and it's not correct. You know, you have
Right.
to. Every situation is different, and you can't like
Yeah, you can't legislate it. You
yeah,
can't legislate it.
yeah,
Absolutely. Yeah.
definitely not. And this is why why we're always laughing. And it is so stupid that you need a lawyer to understand the law, right?
Oh my gosh.
You
It's
you
oh
need
my
a
gosh.
lawyer.
Oh, this is like I feel like we could talk forever about that. And I also I think most people don't think it's stupid. A lot of people probably think, of course you do, because it's so complicated. And
Yeah, it
we
is
both
complicated.
agree. We both agree it's so complicated, but
Yeah,
it doesn't it's strange that it's so
yeah,
complicated.
yeah.
Yeah.
This is what I want to say. Like, hey, law should be very easy because everybody should
Yeah. It should be
protect
the simplest thing.
exactly,
Yeah.
but it's not.
No, but it's not.
And but I want to ask you something. But let me first uh, put two things more into it. For me, the best thing is that humans are better than AI is like when people are brainstorming about something, and then they are coming up new and great ideas. I love brainstorming with different people and you see the involving process. I absolutely love that. And you think like, yeah, this is it. And then another person says, like, yeah, this and then this and this and bam, boom, boom, boom. And then you have,
A lot more something so different from what you started with. Yeah.
yes, yes. And by the way, when scientists they are stuck in something, they say like, okay, let's leave it all, put it all on the side, and let's start from the ground again. Because it's all built on one thesis. How do you call it? Thesis,
One,
one
oh, thesis, one, yeah, one
thesis. Yeah, one
hypothesis,
thesis.
one hypothesis.
Yeah. So,
Mhm.
and it's like, okay, let's see how it's, and then say, no, not working. And it's gone. And then start from the beginning.
Right.
So, and by the way, what I don't like at AI is when it comes to text, it's always the same pattern I see with ChatGPT. And I want to ask you something after that. With ChatGPT, it's always the same thing. For example, if I'm asking like, is this or this better? It never says like, yeah, this is better. Do it better this way. For example, when it comes to human design, I'm saying like, yeah, I'm a generator. How do you build your business best?
Mhm.
Like this and like this. And it never says like this is better. And it just says like, yeah, it's better, but you need to do it right. It's always the same answer. Yeah, it's good, but you need to do it right. And when it comes to texts, it's always the same structure. Like it's not this, but this. It's not this, but this. So
Mhm. Mhm.
whatever structure it is, I created, or I mean, it seems like I created this structure by behaving and typing in things like I do, but it's always the same. There is no new
Interesting. There are no new structures, no new whatever.
structure because it seems like he likes it like this. He don't likes to have these this is it answer.
Huh.
So, and
Not
that's
doing.
why the AI is behaving like this, you know?
Mhm.
My question is, T, I mean, I worked with ChatGPT and Copilot. It's from Microsoft.
Okay.
So, and my question is, and I was just laughing because in my opinion, I was like, oh wow, Copilot is so much better than ChatGPT. And then I pressed one button and I saw Copilot is based on ChatGPT.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
It
yeah.
was so funny. I was like, it asked me like, "Hey, which version of ChatGPT you want to use?" And I was like, "What?" So, but beside that, I want to ask. You said like, yeah, you kind of love Claude.
Yeah, I'm enjoying
Why? Why? Also, what do you love about this AI? Why is it so, let's say, better for you? Or yeah,
I mean, I have not done a lot with AI. I just I mean, I guess I have used Chat GPT. Chat GPT, when I use it, and I used it with you back on other projects that we were doing,
yeah,
it felt like it gave me so much, and it was all great. It seemed like cool stuff, but it was so much and it was too much. And now, I mean, it's a different project that I'm working on. I'm doing different things. It's not all about content, but um it feels more contained. It just feels more contained and it's not overwhelming any of the responses. And it's like I said, it is quite simple. I'm, using level one and it's free. Oh, there goes our timer. But I I just I just feel like it's good for what I need it for. I'm not looking for some huge, crazy thing from it. I'm expecting myself to bring all of the things to the table, and then I'm just looking for a little bit of assistance in organization, thinking things through, and then I usually end up getting new ideas from things that Claude brings because I mean, it's like I can't have an episode. We can't have an episode where I don't reference human design. But so I'm a generator in human design. And so I respond. And so it's fun for me to respond to the things that Claude brings in a way that it was not so much fun for me working with ChatGPT. And I really can't, I don't know if that's the difference between ChatGPT and Claude, or if it's the difference in what I was asking them to do and give me. Yeah.
So, guys, if you want a free version of Claude, just check the.
You can get it without us.
I'm just kidding. But
Exactly.
because we were talking about Claude so much. Yeah. All right.
Great.
I
I think that
respect
was
the
a,
timer, T.
I know we got to
Of
respect.
course, I have a lot of ideas in my head. Yeah, but
That's
I
okay.
respect the
And
timer.
we're gonna sign off and we're gonna write some of those down, and we will definitely continue on some of these topics in future episodes. But for now, take good care. Bye.
Bye bye. Bye.